All right. I know the last two projects that I've done has been dealing with wind chimes, and I'm going to do one more wind chime, and I'm going to get back to woodworking. Uh, these have been projects that I've had on my docket for quite some time, so I figured why the heck not just video them. So this one, I have a friend who likes country crafts. She does a lot of that type of thing, and I figured I had these butter knives that we picked up from the dollar store years ago that we don't use, and rather than throwing them away, I decided to make wind chimes out of them. And so I picked up this ladle from the dollar store. So this has cost me a whole $7 plus tax to purchase everything I need to make these wind chimes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in the handle of each one of these butter knives, and then I'm going to drill 6 holes in this ladle, and then I'm going to bend this handle in such a way that we'll be able to hang it up, and then it's done. This project shouldn't take very long at all. So as I like to say, here we go. So the first step is going to be to mark the where I'm going to drill the hole. I think it's going to be easier if I drill the hole when I'm holding it on the drill press like this than from the outside. So I'm just going to mark a relatively consistent depth. This is country craft, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So let's see if I can do this so I can show you what I'm doing. You don't have to worry that this Sharpie's on here because the Sharpie will actually wipe right off in a little bit, and this went really shallow. There we go. That should be a bit. So then I figure one right there, one right there, right there, right there, and there. All right, that's it for the Sharpie. I've got this punch, and what we'll do, because the handle's in the way, we'll just, it's got a little spring load to it, so then it makes a little divot. I don't know if you can see that, but I like to do it twice. That will help when you're trying to drill your hole. That will help because there's a little divot there. You can find the hole better. And then this one here, again, the handle's kind of in the way, so there we go. So that's the ladle. And for the handles of these knives, just kind of eyeball it. All right, they don't have to be perfect. Yeah. If you've been following my channel for any significant amount of time, you do realize perfect is not necessarily something that I concern myself with. All right, off to the drill press. That was interesting. The camera tipped over, hit the drill press, and flew about 2 feet away. I'm thinking I'm liking this camera. It took the beating pretty well. We will do something different for the mount for the rest of these bits. when drilling out the ladle, it left sharp edges. So what I'm going to use is just a file, and I'm going to clean up those edges where the drill came out. It's rather awkward, but I think it's kind of necessary. We don't know if little kitties are going to want to hurt themselves with this, so it's better to clean it up than not. That's nice and smooth. And we go to the next one. To clean up the Sharpie marks, what I'm going to use is some isopropyl alcohol. This will burn because I got a cut on my finger right now. But, yeah, how we suffer for our art. So we just soak some rag and just rub it. And look how nicely that cleans right off. It's like the Sharpie never existed. There you go. Now we got one more thing to do before we string this up, and then this project will be done. And ow, that burns. And that is, I want to bend this handle to make a hanger out of the handle. It's already got a ready-made hole and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dowel and I'm going to put it in my vise, and we'll see if I can bend around this dowel. I'm probably going to have to tighten this down pretty good. See, that's not tight enough. So let's see. What we can do is loosen that. I gotta put a shim here. That's not going anywhere. And what we're gonna just do is try to bend it around this. I might just use a mallet too. We'll see how this works first. Oh, that worked a lot easier than I thought it would. But I think that is too large. So let's get a smaller dowel. Let's see here. This one will do the trick, I think. That's not going anywhere. So, and I think I can get a pair of pliers. There we go. Look at that. One hanger danger dealy whacker. So what I'm doing here is I took 3 equal length strands of that same cord that I used for the other 2 wind chimes that I worked on, and I tied one knife onto one end, fed that strand through the 2 holes and tied the other end to the other knife using a square knot. Now watch, you not want to feed through. Now that I have the camera on. Son of a gun. So when you have a solution to that problem, just snip off a little bit of the frayed edge. There we go. Feed it through and just tie a square knot. Now what I'm going to do is once all 6 of these knives are attached, I'm going to add a drop of super glue to add a drop of super glue to the knots. That'll keep them from untying. Since this is expected to be outdoors, yeah, you don't want them to untie. So I pull it tight and then pull that knot tight. One more to go. So to be consistent with all the others, I just go from inside. Once again, he decided to fray. Inside to outside, outside to inside, and then feed it through the knife and tie it. Through the knife. Trying to keep as much length as possible unwasted, yeah. So, problem with my big fingers, it's really hard to get detailed knots and stuff. So, oops. There we go. Pull tight. There we go. So I used super glue to seal the knots. And now that is done, and I can adjust the height. And now you have another project completed.
Ooh, I think she's gonna like it.
Me too. Finally, just remember, after every woodworking project, you should always count your fingers. You end with 10, good job.